Welcome back, children.
Welcome back to Tenor Outdoors.
You may notice we're not on the casting couch right now.
That is because the casting couch is sold. We got a lot of popular requests from the video, you know.
Yeah, a lot of users like
Yeah.
to come through. Now, this is going to be our Canadian fishing lure must-haves. This is kind of coming from our own experience. We have a video up in either one of these where
You can actually see
our Canadian fishing
video.
trip.
But these kind of lures stood above and beyond the rest. They outperformed every single day. You know, these caught way more than all the others. And it wasn't just by number of throws, it was average catches per lure. So, I mean, or average catches per cast, I would say. So,
and so before we start, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps a small growing channel. Starting off, we're going to start actually in reverse orders because we might as well cut to the chase about what's the best lure. The best lure by far, live target perch.
Yep.
Hands down. Caught way more fish than any other lure out there. Got way more strikes, harder strikes, and you can tell by the damage. I'll throw this one up. We'll run things across the screen, but this lure just got pounded.
I mean, I can't even count how many fish I caught with this up in Canada. It was just ridiculous. It was hitting, anything that could have its mouth over this. So, we caught walleye, we caught northern on it. We used the 3 to 5 foot depth mostly, but the 8 and the 12-foot depths also worked really well, and any size. So that's why this guy's up at number 1, guys. It outperformed just about anything.
One thing I did actually had happen to me is cast this lure out, wound it up. Again, I like to wind it at medium speed, maybe give it a twitch here and there, but I wound it up. And one thing I'll tell each and every one of you to do with this lure is don't give up on that cast right away. As soon as you get to the boat, just let it float up. Slowly but surely. Because that happened to me. Let it float up. Here comes a 32-inch northern. Just right up with it. And it, all of a sudden, the thing hit the top of the water, and I'm like, oh, what do you do now? And all of a sudden, the northern went,
nice.
just sucked it right off. Top water.
It's pizza time.
Top water lured it, and I caught it. Amazing. Number 1 out of the way. We'll now hit number 2.
All right, number 2 is the called the bomber lure. We'll also post a link of where to get all these lures, and so you can find them. This guy, very nice lure. I have some mixed feelings about the hooks on this guy, but I mean, Isaac can explain.
Yeah. So, anyways, these lures, I found these online, and probably a lure you won't find on top 10 lures for Canada from Outdoor Life or something like that. But this bomber lure, again, is the real deal.
It's kind of some no-name site that you can buy.
It's kind of hard to buy them, actually. Their website's kind of weird. But anyways, this lure, again, just works. It's like a little bright neon thing, and it just
super iridescent in the water. I mean, you can see it from a long ways away, even in murky water. This sucker glows down.
It has great action. I bought Hunter a lure, and I bought myself a lure for going to Canada. And by the end of the trip, I didn't have that lure anymore. It was gone because my dad took it. Because he was not catching a lot of fish.
Yeah, he was having some trouble because he didn't quite bring the right lures up there.
He
wouldn't catch as many as we were catching
No.
with some of these lures that we had brought in. But
the one problem you may notice with this is, look at the back of this hook.
I am the second person in our family to have that thing get stuck in their hand wherever
Surgically
you're fishing.
sharp.
Yeah.
That's how good these hooks are. And these hooks are almost too good.
People get them stuck in their hands so often because the hooks aren't that sharp. They will dive and bury themselves in your hand. It is a guarantee. So let's move on to number 3 now. We use the Crocodile spoons a lot for salmon fishing and out of rivers and stuff like that. 100% top performance. I mean, you can cast a normal spoon and cast a Crocodile spoon, and that action, you can tell it makes a difference. You just hook up with more fish. And so you can kind of see here the pattern. It's not a flat spoon at all. You can see the bend in there, and that's what really gives you a lot of action. And this is the coloring I use. It's kind of like a rainbow trout pattern. This isn't the one I brought up to Canada, however. This is. And I think this kind of speaks for itself. A little bit tattered. It's basically a silver spoon at the end of the day after getting so many hookups with it. But I caught over 5 fish that were well over 30 inches on this one spoon alone, and it did a lot of work. And the other thing was you were able to cast it for days, and you could cast this sucker out quite a ways and get that wind in. One of the things I will say though, if you are using this, is A lot, at least for me, when I was fishing, if I didn't get the hook set right away on the fish, what I would feel is like a hit on the spoon. It would hit it and then just kind of leave it alone or something like that. So I kind of was like, all right, something's going on here. So I'd feel like a tap on there. I'd slow it way down, and then I'd do like a quick retrieve up. And every single time I was getting hits after that, I'd always recapture the fish. It never failed. So if you are going to use one of these, you might want to use that tip if you're fishing with it.
Molly Ann. Sorry, the beagle barking at you.
So you might want to use that tip. It could help you a lot. It might not, but at least for me, I found it really helpful. The other thing I found with that spoon is that when you're casting it out,
Molly, Jesus Christ.
so you might want to use those tips and tricks when you are using the spoon because it might help you catch more fish. And that kind of brings us on to our last one, number 5.
That's number 4,
Oh.
actually.
It strikes again. It's sharp, boys and
Ooh,
girls.
that don't hurt.
Very dangerous.
Okay, so number 4.
Number 4, it is the Suick.
Bam. So this is a pretty classic one to have for, big northern.
About 7.5 inches.
Yeah, 7.5 perch color, just your standard one. But one thing unique about what we did is that instead of just pulling it down and just letting it float up, we actually slow wind it. Tick, 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 tick. And the northerns just ate that up.
They definitely like that perch coloring again. Nice orange bottom, give a lot of target space for them. And you might have to kind of figure out what little style or action works for you too when you're using your Suick. Kind of experiment around with the types of retrievals that you can do. And that kind of leads us to our last one, number 5. This guy did really well again. Any of these lures outperformed all the other ones by quite a bit. And this is the Musky Killer Mepps. And it's got a yellow bottom with a little red tail on there. So this thing did a lot of work. Like it again, that spinner blade on the front gave it a lot of action, and that yellow bottom with a red tip in it gave an excellent target for the fish to strike. I think that's one of the reasons why it works so well. And like I said, it worked great. Comment down below what your favorite fishing lures were for Canada if you've gone there, or if you have questions about some of the fishing lures that we reviewed.
We'd be happy to tell you because nothing like experience. If you don't know what lures to bring, you could end up like our dad. Yeah.
He ended up borrowing quite a few.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
All right,
All right, thanks, guys.
Time.